dressing room and you know what I expect. That's a clean fight. Remember to obey my commands at all times. Above all, protect yourself at all times. Both belt lines are good. Touch gloves, lads. Thank you.
Well, this moment, this fight has been labeled the last crescendo, and rightly so, as we've reached peak intensity, where the two greatest light heavyweights of their era collide once again in a battle for undisputed supremacy. Will Bivol get his revenge? Or will Beterbiев once again prove he is the best in the world? 12 rounds live from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
Right away, both fighters meet in the middle. That's gonna be who controls the middle of the ring, who's gonna be pushed back, who's gonna control with that jab early.
Well, the outcome of this fight, I think, is going to be decided in two stages. At the beginning, where last fight, Artur Beterbiev got to what has become kind of a typical slow start, allowed Dmitry Bivol to build a lead. And in the championship round, where Beterbiev got the best of Bivol, and that allowed him to pull off a very close decision. We'll see if either of those change tonight.
Already Bivol standing his ground a little bit more, being a little bit more flat-footed, not really jumping back and forth like he normally does.
No, I would say Bivol's best weapon, Todd, is his jab. It's always been. He's one of the best jabbers in all of boxing. Got to get that going early and often in this fight.
Some have picked Beterbiev perhaps by late knockout, but keep in mind, Bivol's never been down. Beterbiev has been down twice. It's been a while, back in 2014 and 2018.
Nice right hand to the body right there by Beterbiev. That's what Bivol should be doing as well. He needs to actually get the respect by Beterbiev going downstairs before he starts landing the shots upstairs.
And that's an adjustment I wondered if Beterbiev was going to make. He is not a prolific body puncher. Around 20% of his landed shots are body punches.
Yeah, he's not jumping around as much, is he, Sergio?
No, he is not. He wants to get more power behind that right hand. You know, he has this in and out footwork that's very difficult to time, but it's a rhythm thing, and he's brilliant at it.
Good right hand there around the guard from Bivol.
Beterbiev said he wanted to start faster.
His presence is there. He's starting fast without actually doing much. You know, he's coming forward, he's backing up Bivol, and Bivol's reluctant to throw shots right now.
Beterbiev's done it before. He blitzed the Iron Chin Joe Smith in 2 rounds and took the fight straight to Callum Smith last year. So it's not unusual to see him start fast. He'll do that occasionally.
Left hook from Bivol.
Good shot there. That right hand once again. That's gonna be something that he worked on. Beterbiev is chopping him in half already. That shot to the body is actually gonna stop Bivol from moving so easily.
Your mix is good, okay? Your jab up down is good. Now feint and come back sometime. Just a little bit more feint.
Чуть ближе и закрывай дорогу, чуть ближе. Вот видишь, правая рука пошла. Пошла, повтори, а потом переведи на голову. Чуть-чуть рядом будет.
Strong jab, Archer, strong jab. Хорошо. Так, все, молодец, все, видишь? Расслабление, расслабление, не напрягайся. Ножки чуть-чуть.
10 seconds, corners.
See Bivol bouncing up early in between rounds there. A lot of maybe nervous energy kind of flowing through him right now.
Bivol saying he needs to do 3 times more than he did in their first fight to win here. Is that possible to do 3 times more? Bivol thinks he can.
The things that Bivol have been saying, he said, I need to throw more punches, match the output of Artur Beterbiev. And that is a strategy that could work, but it also comes with a lot of danger. The more punches you throw, the more exposed you are.
Yeah, Bivol rated his performance in the first fight a 6 out of 10. Even though a lot of fans, seems like at least half, thought Bivol beat Bетербиев.
A few more jabs from Artur Bетербиев early in this fight. Good right hand there, followed out.
Bетербиев doesn't waste punches. You know, he's so patient, so calm, collective, but when he lands with a hard thump, a hard power. Bivol's more of the volume puncher, more of the speed puncher, using footwork in and out.
Bivol's got to sit on that right hand. He's got to break the rhythm of Artur Bетербиев. He can't just let him sort of walk in and do whatever he wants.
In the first round, Bivol attempted that. Right now, he's starting to get that bounce on his foot. Now, he knows he needs a little bit of rhythm. He needs to get rhythm going, Bivol.
This is a very quick turnaround for Bетербиев. Chris, do you think that's going to be a problem or maybe even a help for him as Bivol lands a right?
Now, I actually think it's going to be a help for him. Not just because I think he'll stay sharp, he'll be able to stay sharp, but he's had no injury issues. And when was the last time we've had an Artur Bетербиев fight where we weren't talking about an injury issue going in?
Bivol never the stationary target. Bivol touches him with the right.
He temporarily turned southpaw there, which I haven't really seen from Bivol, but it was just a different look. Goes back and pops that jab. That's where Bivol does not want to be squared up against the ropes. He's doing well in this round, moving around the perimeter of the ring, using his jab, keeping Bетербиев on the outside. This is his fight. This is how Bivol wins. Good shot there. Good stabbing shot to the body. And the keys to victory, I said Bivol should, concentrate on either sticking that jab to the body, the straight right hand to the body. Alternated upstairs and downstairs.
Good left hand there for Bivol. Keep in mind, Bетербиев is 40 years old. So those body shots might add a little extra to it.
Не останавливайся у канатов, ты понял? Не останавливайся у канатов, не стой.
Nice counter shot right there. Nothing special, nothing big, just nice and quick. Didn't even pull it back. Shots like that, they're going to keep landing if Bетербиев keeps coming forward and putting a lot of power behind that jab. But look, there's the bounce that we need to see from Bivol. A little bounce from behind his toe, going in and out, and of course getting that jab off. Not overloading on those power shots.
10 seconds, corners.
And these are important rounds for Dmitry Bivol. We know Artur Bетербиев gets better as a fight progresses. He's got to find ways to bank these rounds early.
Yeah, Bivol was able to win 5 out of the first 6 rounds. He should attempt trying to do something similar in this one, but Bетербиев said he's not going to allow him. He's going to start faster.
See it right now, Sergio. He's like a car kind of getting that engine running on a winter day.
Both of these men with such high in-ring IQ. In fact, Bетербиев has a law degree, not sure if you knew about that, from the University of Dagestan. Very intelligent, both Bетербиев and Bivol, as Chris Mannix gives the first 2 rounds to Dmitry. Sergio, you thought Bетербиев maybe won the first round.
Yeah, I like Bетербиev's right hand to the body. I thought he was effective. I think 1-1.
Bетербиев went downstairs, Bivol upstairs. Bivol said after their first fight that even the punches that Bетербиев landed on Bivol's gloves still hurts.
I'm saying his left hand was in a lot of pain after that fight because that was the hand he had up to block these oncoming punches from Bетербиев.
And that's another thing I wanted to see Bivol do, not catch those shots on the gloves, because the judges were giving Bетербиев credit for those shots. Even though he wasn't blocking them, they should have given him credit for defense and moving around. Don't give him the opportunity. Power punchers love punching anything. Move around the ring, make him miss completely. Just like that. That's what you want to do to bullies like that. Make them punch air. Not only does it take away their confidence, but it takes away their legs as well. You're not accustomed to missing.
You know, the pressure better.
I was going to say, yeah.
He just keeps coming.
The first 2 rounds, Bivol was on the front foot a lot, but in this third, it's been all Biev going forward, but Bivol's still landing counter shots. He is doing more, Sergio.
Absolutely, I mean, he's doing it on the back foot. I mean, just because you're coming forward like Biev did in the second half of the fight doesn't necessarily mean that you're winning the fight. Bivol was boxing. Biev is pushing the fight, but only one person's landing the cleaner shots in this round. See, there's the block shot, right? Those are 2 block shots that Biev did, but Bivol's not allowing to let him get off. Bivol's coming back with 6-7 punches of his own.
Imagine the condition both of these athletes are in for this pace.
Oh, good body shots.
That's what was missing in that first fight from Biev. Body shots. He allowed Bivol to keep that guard high.
Absolutely. Notice how everything changed as soon as he went to the body. Bivol went backwards and the momentum switched.
Bivol standing in the pocket with the heavy-hitting Biev. Good round for both fighters. Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn. Ring Magazine brings you this highly anticipated fight live April 26th from Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Watch for the press conference tour starting this week live on DAZN.
I think that press conference tour might be as fun as the fight. I think that press conference tour is going to be electric.
Bivol was controlling most of the fight, boxing in and out, controlling the distance, the range with that jab. Everything was going nicely until Biev went downstairs, got the attention of Bivol, got him to get the elbows down, and then this happened. Biev comes right back at the end of that round.
Seconds out.
Bivol did great work.
Yeah, I don't think we didn't show the body shots there, but the body shots from Biev made a difference. But Sergio, Biev had to go back to the corner thinking, hey, those body shots made him open up a little bit. That's what I got to keep going downstairs, keep shaking things up.
Sergio, Biev back in Bivol against the ropes. I was going to say, what takes more energy, the constant backwards movement or the constant forwards movement?
I would say, well, whatever you're accustomed to. The thing about Bivol, he's so good going forwards and backwards. I would say going sideways is what takes more. Lateral movement takes away more of your thigh strength.
Yeah, sir, it's exhausting to fight how Dimitri Bivol is fighting. Like, he's in tremendous condition. He did it for 12 rounds the first time around, but it is really tough to sustain that kind of movement against the power puncher.
When you're moving laterally, you are, but when you're going in and out, you're accustomed to that.
Biev is 10-0 in world title fights with 9 knockouts. Bivol, the only fighter to ever go the distance with Biev.
And if I'm Biev, I'm stepping, see him go to the corner there, great combination. I'm stepping to my right, because Dimitri Bivol is doing the same thing over and over again. He's trying to get away from the power hand of Artur Beterbiev. A little bit of a step to his right will cut that lane off.
This first half of the fight looking like the second half of the success that Biev had in the first fight. It's not looking good if Bivol's already falling behind right here, and Beterbiev's already pushing the fight and landing on the gloves. Even though nothing's landing, it's all Biev. Good shot.
Downstairs, and that dropped the elbows again of Bivol.
As soon as those punches land to the body, everything opens up upstairs.
Yeah, the right side of Bivol maybe starting to get a bit tender.
It is remarkable at 40 years old that Biev is in this kind of condition and fights this kind of way.
He just applies so much pressure with the punches and how he positions you with his feet. He forces you to go in the direction that he wants to.
Bivol with a body shot with the right hand. This is the best round so far for Bетербиев.
Yeah, I think he's had 2 back-to-back really good rounds. Good right hand there.
Bivol tried to answer but missed. And again.
A good jab there by Bivol.
Boy, Bетербиев really coming forward here in the early rounds.
So you have no answer for when you mix body head, you have no answer for this. And especially when you do pressure, when you do pressure, and you go like this. Boom, body.
Shotgun jab there by Bетербиев. Both of them exchanging jabs. Bетербиев getting the better of it. You could see that Bivol was cocking back that right hand, trying to counter the jab, but it was too slow.
Seconds out. Round 5.
Man, we've almost reached the halfway point. This fight is flying by. Round 5, scheduled for 12. Chris Mannix, you've got it all even.
Yeah, I gave the first 2 rounds to Dmitry Bivol. His jab was working, and I thought the activity with Artur Bетербиев a little bit less than what I would have liked. Last 2, though, clear wins for Artur Bетербиев, who's starting to build some momentum as we enter this 5th round.
Oh, big right hand for Bетербиев. Sweat flying off of Bivol.
I'm surprised Bivol took that well. I mean, it landed cleanly.
Yeah, Bivol's got a good chin. Hasn't had to show it much in his career because he's so good defensively. He doesn't get hit very often. At least not like this.
Back-to-back body shots from Bетербиев.
Every body shots, and he's stopping Bivol with a movement to his left. Anytime you want your opponent to stop moving, you got to punch in the direction that he's going and then stop him. That's when you can get the combinations going. Bетербиев is a master of that. He can't compete with the foot speed of guys like Bivol, so what he has to do is rely on timing and accuracy.
See, this is where Bivol's got to let his hands go. If Bетербиev's going to stand there at the mid-range, he's got to throw punches. You know, it's interesting. We're kind of seeing maybe a strategy shift mid-round there. You know, for the first 4.5 rounds, Dmitry Bivol was kind of moving to his left all the way around the ring, trying to stay away from the power hand. Right now, over the last 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes, he has been kind of more stationary.
Sergio, what was working for Bivol in rounds 1 and 2 that hasn't worked in the last 2.5 rounds? Oh, there's a right hand.
The footwork, the in and out footwork, that rhythm is very hard to time because when he's bouncing forward and he's bouncing back, his hands are doing the opposite thing. It's a really tough rhythm.
It's a high-level fight.
Yeah, it is. I mean, both these guys, it really is incredible what they do. The subtle little things that they do inside the ring, like Bетербиев touching the gloves upstairs and then alternating the power. He hides his power.
Boy, Bетербиев really taking control of this fight. Haven't seen Bivol like this before.
Every body shot that Bетербиев is landing, Bivol is feeling.
Bivol is moving it.
Breathe properly, breathe. Just make sure that, with your right, you stay sharp. Don't load the punch, okay? 1, 2, very fast. And stick, good compact defense.
There's that right hand. It kind of shook a little bit of Bivol. His knee wiggles a little bit. Those shots near the top of the temple, the top of the head, sometimes they make your legs react a little bit funny. And when you can punch through walls like Bevy, he doesn't have to hit you cleanly.
Well,
Good shot.
through 5 rounds, Bevy landed 26 body shots. He only landed 31 in the entire first fight.
And that's been different so far, and that's the reason I think Bivol hasn't been moving as much. Bevy is taking them legs by landing those body shots. Look at the timing on Beterbiev's right hand. You know, the speed is on Bivol's side, but the timing is on Bevy, and timing beats speed. Even the footwork, you know, Bivol bounces in and out. He has the faster feet, but the positioning of the footwork is all Bevy.
You see these punch stats, 21 landed punches in the 5th round for Artur Beterbiev, with a bigger number, 76 punches thrown, which is in line with some of the numbers we saw in that first fight, where Artur Beterbiev's volume was significantly more than Dimitri Bivol's. One thing I think is missing from this fight early on, Sergio, is that in the first 6 rounds of the first fight, we saw Bivol sit down his punches and be willing to throw 4, 5, 6 punch combinations and then try to get out. We haven't really seen that from him yet in this one.
Right hand from Bivol as Beterbiev was exposed momentarily.
Yeah, there's no in and out. There's no in and out from Bivol. He's not going back, coming in with a jab, going back, coming in with the right hand. You know, he's a little bit more stationary.
Well, he's holding his ground in this round.
Well, he's been holding his ground because he wants to get more leverage behind the right hand, but Beterbiev is not respecting the right hand. There we go.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. 4-punch combination from Dimitri Bivol.
Beterbiev just not letting him breathe. Can he continue this pace, do you think, through 12 rounds?
Beterbiev?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Did it last time.
Because
he started much slower last time.
Once that engine gets running, it doesn't stop.
Not only that, but he's so economical with his punches that everything he throws, he lands, and he's not putting a lot of power behind all these punches. See how he's tapping the gloves, and then he hits you hard downstairs, and he goes back to tapping. So Bivol doesn't know when the power's going to come.
And now Bivol right in the middle of the ring, throwing combinations. That right hand landed, yes. Beterbiev rather squared up for a moment. Bivol caught him clean again.
Those are 2 clean right hands by a really good puncher in Bivol. Beterbiev ate them up and came right back.
Much better round for Dimitri Bivol.
And that's where Bivol needs to go. That right hand downstairs. If he wants to stop the forward movement and the pressure, go downstairs with straight right hand.
Hurt him. At least he thinks he did. Bivol lost his footing for a moment. So what was a pretty good round for Bivol ended with Beterbiev with a good exchange.
Right hand to the body. It was that left hook right there. See, this is the thing about Beterbiev. He doesn't have to hit you cleanly. These shots aren't landing with full force, but that's how powerful this man is. That's a full force shot right there, and look at the look on Beterbiev's face.
10 seconds, corners.
That's the difference in raw power between both these guys.
And that was the right hand that seemed to wobble Bivol.
7.
So we're halfway through the fight. What are your observations so far, Chris?
Well, I think Artur Beterbiev and his team have to be really happy with how the first half of this fight has gone. They are not in any kind of hole, at least not on my scorecard. I've got a 58-56 in favor of Artur Beterbiev. And we know, based on the last fight, that Beterbiev is more likely to be stronger in the second half of this fight. So, excellent start for Artur Beterbiev.
think this was the game plan for Bivol, just not to move in and out as much, stand his ground, try and land more power shots?
It had to be, because they've been doing this since the beginning of the fight. In the first round, he started flat-footed. He's shown signs of that bouncing footwork in and out, but not enough of it.
Would you change strategies now? What would you do?
Well, I mean, he's had success. Bivol's had success. It's just Betterbief. Betterbief is a much stronger fighter, and his accuracy, his timing, his technique, his tenacity, everything's on Beterbief's side. Bivol has flashes, but the majority is on Betterbief. And look at how he continues moving sideways, cutting off the ring. So that he's not expending too much energy, Betterbief. He's walking, he's cutting off the ring, making it smaller and smaller. It's Bivol having to use the energy on his legs by moving laterally.
In the first 2 rounds, Bivol was able to back Betterbief up. Hasn't been able to do it much since. I don't think they've clinched once.
No, these are high-level guys. Still like to see Betterbief mix up some of those shots downstairs. Doesn't have to be like Callum Smith versus Josh Buatsi, but he can open up some of those headshots by making Bivol aware those body shots are coming.
See right there, Bivol made Betterbief miss, but he didn't come back with nothing. You know, he stepped back, he made him miss that right hand, but no body shots, no uppercuts, no nothing. It's like Bivol's not reacting to anything right now. He's pulling the jab, he's keeping this guy off, he's maintaining his range, but he's not landing anything cleanly.
There's a good combination.
Bivol. Most of them missed and didn't land, but yes, at least he's getting them off. Betterbief is not throwing, but when he does throw, he's landing. And you can hear the thump on those punches. There we go. That's Bivol right there. See, that's what we need to see from Bivol right now in the last 2 seconds of that round.
Joe Joyce is back, taking on Dillian White in an all-British showdown on April the 5th. And that kicks off an exciting schedule from Queensberry Promotions, which will now be broadcast exclusively on DAZN, your global home of boxing.
Arthur, you let him get confident that round. You got to take it from him. We give him this round like we cannot. You have to take it back this round. Don't let him get.
There's that right hand, but look, this is the old Bivol right there. Stopped on a dime with the right foot, and he came in with a 2-1. It all started with the footwork. He acted like he was going to be backing up, going away like he's been doing, but he stopped on a dime and attacked. He needs to do a lot more of that because that's his advantage over the flat feet of Betterbief.
Both fighters off the stool, have pep in their step. The conditioning of these two fighters, absolutely incredible.
Bivol boxes on the toes of his feet, and Betterbief is more on the ball of their feet. So you can actually outmaneuver him and get angles and move sideways a lot faster if you're Bivol, but you have to get respect by stopping on a dime and punching from that angle. Good shot there by Bivol.
Betterbief walks right into those.
Yeah, because he was able to stop real quickly. This is what I'm going to say again. He stops on a dime and he can attack from there. That's Bivol's advantage. He tried it again right there. Betterbief's going to continue following him, so he's going to have to just stop and crack him. Block and counter, stop and punch.
Another good three-punch combination for Dimitri Bivol.
Jabs landed 57 for Bivol, 29 for Betterbief.
And look, this is... it is...
Oh, good right hand from Bivol. And for the first time, maybe a chink in the armor for Betterbief.
Yeah, the jabs, though, that's what Dimitri Bivol does. That is his best weapon. That's what helped him stay in the fight the first time around. That's going to keep him in it in this one.
The crowd trying to rally behind Bivol here in the 8th after a very good round 7.
And if you remember in the first fight, it was round 7 that changed the momentum, but it was Beveragev that actually did it with one body shot, changed the whole trajectory of the fight.
Good work from Dimitri Bivol.
Yes, it is.
He's outworking Betterbiev.
He's fighting with rhythm now.
Still anyone's round here in the 8th. You know, these quiet rounds are the ones Bivol definitely has to win.
He's doing a really good job intersecting. You know, there it is. See, that's the intersection right there that I'm talking about. Anytime Betterbiev came in, even though Bivol's bouncing, stepping back, he's catching him with that jab coming in. Right there, he caught him with the 1-2. Bivol with that jab right there, but got a slight little angle. He kind of moved his head to the right just to catch that little angle. And here's the shot that kind of rocked Betterbiev. It was a little funny step that he took to the right. The right hook came around the guard. Left hook came around the guard. Caught him right there in the jaw.
Much more direct.
10 seconds, corners.
Remember, faster feet.
You know, it's interesting. Dimitri Bivol's corner is right in front of us, and one of his trainers has been in the ring every single round, between rounds, massaging the legs, the calves of Dimitri Bivol. They know how important those legs are going to be in this fight.
Bivol sitting down on his punches. Seems like he's found some new confidence.
It's like they switch roles. Now it's Bivol starting off faster in the second half of the fight.
Chris Mannix has it even.
Yeah, excellent last 2 rounds for Dimitri Bivol. So 76-76 on my scorecard. The script really has been flipped in some ways. First fight, it was Dimitri Bivol getting off the fast start. Artur Beterbiev rallying. This fight, I feel like Beterbiev got off to a better start. And now, as we're in the 9th round, you've got Dimitri Bivol coming on strong.
I agree, and that had to be strategy. It wasn't by chance. It's something that Bivol wanted to. He wanted to get Beveragev that false confidence early. Gave up the early rounds just to do what he's doing now.
Betterbiev's punch output has definitely diminished over these last 3 rounds.
Yeah, go. Beautiful move right there. Look at this.
And there's Bivol.
And that's the kind of eye-catching stuff that gets the attention of judges. A good slip, make your opponent miss, come back with a 4-punch combination.
Bivol doing the dance, feeling the flow here in round 9.
Bivol's not doing what he also caught up to him in the first round. He's not catching the glove, the punches on the glove, so he's not giving Betterbiev anything to punch or any kind of confidence or momentum coming forward, making him completely miss.
Boy, it looks like a completely different fight than it did 3 rounds ago.
There we go. See that? The feet move back, but the hands move forward. That's what Bivol is a genius at.
And now he's sticking and moving.
Just a master at range, brilliant with his footwork. That's incredible boxing right there. It's hard to stop when you're in and out like that.
I mean, Sergio, think about the conditioning that Bivol has to be in right now. To go all these rounds, the 12 rounds the first time, now we're into the 9th round now. to not only stand up to the punches of a knockout artist like Betterbiev, but to be moving as much as he is and throwing back now in the second half of the fight as much as he is.
Absolutely. He's a lot more confident and comfortable in this rematch.
When you stop with the body, you will stop the counter punching after, okay? Strong jab and body punch after you go close distance.
And you can see the face of Artur Beterbiev reddening up, scarring up around the eyes, and that's because of that jab. Beautiful move, look at that. I mean, it gets no better than ring generalship right there. He slipped away from the ropes, but didn't go in the middle of the ring, stayed right there, attacked, and came right back and pushed the bully backwards. Nothing landing cleanly, but being confident is just touching the gloves, getting the points.
10 seconds, corners.
And Sergio, in slow motion, you can tell if those punches landed or not, but when the judge is watching it live, you can't tell if they connect really or not.
Exactly, and that's what he needs to be content with, just punching the gloves, just like Beterbiev did in the first fight.
Sergio, have you seen a trainer do that as often as Betterbiev's getting worked over in the corner? It's like he's getting a 60-second massage in between every round.
I see it a lot in kickboxing, but not a lot in boxing, that's for sure.
That's a no-no in boxing. You should never massage the feet, but they're massaging the calves. You want to stay away from the thighs, though. You don't want your thighs relaxed. You want them tight.
And now, Chris, you've got Bivol in front. Boy, has the tide turned.
I don't think these last 3 rounds have been that difficult to score. Dmitry Bivol has become more assertive. His punch output has increased. His accuracy has been better. He's just really been sharp. 86-85 right now in the 10th for Dmitry Bivol.
What changed, Sergio?
The footwork. He wasn't fighting flat-footed anymore. The first few rounds he was flat-footed, and we were wondering why Bivol was doing that. If he wanted to get more power, then he started getting some rhythm and some bounce, moving laterally, and that's how you actually get Betterbiev to make mistakes, by trying to compete with your footwork.
Good right hand there for Bivol. But we know that Betterbiev still carries life-changing power into the late rounds. A clean shot.
That was a good body shot there for Betterbiev. We haven't seen enough of that, I don't think, in this fight. Everything or most things have been upstairs. Really impressive rally from Dmitry Bivol. It would have been so easy for him to get discouraged after kind of falling behind in those middle rounds, but he's picked it up.
I mean, this is beautiful.
Yeah.
This is beautiful.
Body,
watching, man.
left hook, back upstairs, causing Betterbiev to have to reset. Betterbiev starting to chase again.
Good shot right there by Betterbiev going downstairs. Bivol counters immediately, not letting him have any kind of success to the body. 2 complete different styles of war, these guys. One coming forward with raw power and aggression, the other guy bouncing backwards with timing, speed, and accuracy.
I feel like these guys could fight 10 times and there'd be maybe a round that separates them.
Yeah, man, they're 2 rushing grandmasters in boxing, man. And this is what Bivol didn't do in the last fight. You can close out the early rounds and steal it, or sway it away from them. Down goes Betterbiev to try to land something downstairs, and look, Bivol returns the favor, chops him in half, right downstairs, comes around the guard with a left hook. Betterbiev doesn't know where to block, the body or upstairs. That's what Bivol loves to do. Following him around, popping him with that accurate jab, in control.
You know, heading into the 11th of the first fight, Betterbiev's corner was basically saying you might need to knock him out. What would your message be to him right now, Sergio?
Keep doing what you're doing. You're boxing now. You don't need to knock him out. And Betterbiev
I'm talking about.
Oh, Betterbiev needs to get something going. And it starts with the feet, because as soon as Bivol started bouncing on his feet, getting that rhythm, stepping back, that's when the fight started getting away from Betterbiev. So Betterbiev needs faster feet.
And these are the rounds that Dimitri Bivol is most aware of. Talking to his team all week long. You see my scorecard, 96-94 in favor of Bivol. But talking to his team, the one thing they said over and over again was, we got to close strong. We know we gave the fight away in the final rounds last time. So this is where Dimitri Bivol has vowed to be a lot better.
And Chris, you talked about how Betterbiev is such a strong closer. Bivol looks fresher. But one punch can certainly change everything, and if Betterbiev wins these last 2 rounds, he could still win the fight. Who knows what the judges' scores look like? Last time, we thought maybe Bivol won it, but it was to Betterbiev. We've seen some interesting scorecards tonight as well already. Total punches through 10 rounds.
Yeah, the accuracy on the part of Dimitri Bivol, the activity of the part of Artur Beterbiev, but I'd love to see what the last 6 rounds or so. Good right hand there for Dimitri Bivol, because Bivol has really stepped it up.
Yeah, that right hand on the temple of Beterbiev.
Bivol is so athletic that even going backwards, he can get leverage on that right hand. Even moving laterally, he's dangerous like that. See that? Beautiful. Moving sideways to his left, was able to swivel away, still get power shots, and get the respect of Betterbiev with that right hand.
Under a minute to go here in round 11. This fight just as good as the first one, if not better.
We're in a very competitive 11th round.
You can always go to fourthjudge.com to see how the AI judge is seeing things. As Eddie Hearn cheers on Bivol.
From Bivol. This is how you finish a round.
One round to go.
Last round, baby. That's what two things. First, we need to be aggressive, but we need to be under control, okay? Not like shot boxing, okay? Aggressive, but technical control. 2, we need this round. We cannot take any chance. We need the round.
Должны его тут поставить, побоксируй весь раунд. Подыши, подстрели, да, контролируй раунд.
Oh, you gotta send them home, Arthur. You gotta смотри, двигай. Ногу правой. Твой, Дима, твой. Все. Соберись,
10 seconds, corners.
Coming into this rematch, Bivol said, I have to do more, I have to be better. He has done more. He has been better. But will it be enough to beat Betterbiev in the rematch? Betterbiev's corner said we've got to have the 12th. Chris, you got it 106-103.
Yeah, 106-103 in favor of Dimitri Bivol. That 11th round was competitive, but I thought Bivol closed it strong and pulled it off. Yeah, but if you're Dimitri Bivol, you saw Eddie Hearn up on the ring apron moments ago, saying you got to win this one too. You can't believe that you're up going into this final round. these two guys are just the cream of the crop in a light heavyweight division. Two guys that belong top 10, top 15 at the worst in the pound-for-pound rankings.
The undisputed light heavyweight championship of the world up for grabs. Fights don't get much bigger than this one. The crowd willing Bivol on.
That's a bit of a switch, though. Early on, when they were both introduced, seemed like Beviev had more fans in the stands.
Good shot. Bivol just waiting to counter Beviev. He has the fresher legs, the faster hands. Beviev is the one that needs to do something, and Bivol wants to run into a mistake. Ooh,
oh,
just like that.
They both sit down on power
For that exchange.
Yeah, both of them landed big shots right there. Bivol was trying to set him up with the right hand. He got the worst of it.
Yeah, they threw right at the same time, and Beviev landed probably his best right hand of the night.
Yeah, Beviev.
I think he knows it too.
Yeah, sensing that he might have Bivol hurt a little bit. 40 seconds to go. Last round. Beviev trying to maul him in the corner.
And that's smart of Bivol right there, clinching. Clinching was smart right there by Bivol. You can clinch him, start walking him backwards. That's even better.
Seems like Beterbiev's winning this round. Bivol might need something big here.
There's a cut on the left eye of Bivol.
What a fight.
10 seconds to go.
Good shot there by Bivol, bouncing back with the right hand.
Incredible confrontation. Who do you have? Did Beviev do it again, or is Bivol the new champ? Who will leave Saudi Arabia undisputed? We're about to find out.
Wow. You prayed for a fight as good as the first one, and sometimes rematches don't deliver. This one delivered again. And I echo the commentary team. Come on, let's have another one. I think Dimitri Bivol did enough. We wait to hear the judges' scorecards. Another close fight, but what a fight. What a fight to cap off what's been an incredible night of boxing.
Absolutely. I love rematches because there's so many narratives that you can go off of. There's so many possibilities, and then, you know, you never know which one is going to play out, and I just don't think it could have played out any better than it did tonight. Beautiful boxing from both guys. Both guys showed everything that you want to see in a boxing match, and the number one thing is the heart, the warrior spirit. Both guys have it.
Yeah, this an undisputed. We have a unification fight coming up as well in the welterweight division. Jared Boots Ennis versus Emiantos Stanionis. Big one, this coming from Atlantic City, April the 12th, all part of the zone's 185 fights annually. Who is numero uno in the welterweight division? We'll find out April 12th. I'm just about getting my breath back from that one. That one, I mean, I felt like I was in there for a couple of rounds. That one took everything, didn't it?
Ade, you were excited, man.
I was excited ringside, I was.
Bumping me, and it's just, how could you not be excited about this? Look at that. Just the exchanges that these men made tonight, these warriors made tonight. Unbelievable. Top to bottom. Beviev started faster than like we wanted him to. Bivol weathered the small storm in the middle rounds and then came on strong. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. I'm telling you, I don't know if a fight better than I just saw tonight.
You know, I have to admit, Sean, I think through rounds 1 to 4, I thought maybe this is a bit too much for Bivol.
Yeah.
I thought Beviev was starting so fast. I was like, okay, Bivol needs to make adjustments. And it was just small pivots to the side, giving himself space, and bang.
He woke up. Bivol woke up, and he just started using his offense. And then it went the way it went. And I think he closed the gate, or he closed it down. And I have this fight to score the draw.
Get it, a draw?
I'm sorry.
What is it with you and draws?
I'm sorry. Because I'm not the guy. That's why.
Look, if it is a draw, then obviously Artur Beterbiev keeps his belts. Dimitri Bivol will be disappointed. It's Chris Mannix pointing to you thinking, look, 1 second, come on, not a draw. He's pointing to Dimitri Bivol.
Yeah.
I think most ringside seem to have Dimitri Bivol as well.
Not intimidating.
I think, okay, there's Chris Mannix's unofficial scorecard. He's got it 115, 113.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Dimitri Bivol.
After 12 rounds of boxing, we go to the scorecards. Jean-Robert Lane scores it 114 to 114, a draw. Mike Fitzgerald scores the contest 116 to 112. Dion Duarte has it 115, 113 for the winner by majority decision. And new undisputed light heavyweight champion of the world, Dimitri Bivol.
There you go, Sean. Your scorecard wasn't that crazy. One judge had it a draw, but two judges gave it to Dimitri Bivol. I said, would it be revenge? Would it be redemption? In the end, it's revenge. Dimitri Bivol, the